So we're back with a review here. We've got brand new kits. We've got two of them. Very glary box art. I can't do a lot about it. But what we've got is the I16 Type 5 in 1/48 scale. This is the In the Sky of Spain versions, and that's by Clearprop Models. And these are both Spanish Civil War aircraft. Now, both box arts have depicted the nationalist one, and that is undoubtedly because it's the more attractive scheme, but each one comes with at least 5 Republican schemes, as we can see there. 1, 2, 3, 4. He said 5, I meant 4. This one's got 3, so it's not at least. This one's got 3 Republican, this one's got 4 Republican, and then they've each got a nationalist one. The difference between the two is one's a late version and one is the early version, so we'll only pick one kit. We'll go for the early version. No, we'll go for the late version because I wanted to talk about the schemes, but I'll get the necessary bits out that make the difference so we can just compare. So once we've got the very glary lid off, we've got a top opening, very sturdy cardboard box, 1 bag of plastic sprues, very much like we come to expect from these sort of companies. And I believe this is a Ukrainian company, and they all seem to be very similar as to how they parcel up their models. I've got a feeling there's a bit of working between companies, different people doing different things. I'm sure they're all independent as far as how they design their models and all the rest of it, but as far as the actual manufacturing, it seems as though a lot of the Ukrainian companies are using the similar process, and that is made obvious by the fact that we have decals printed in Ukraine, which Dora wings and all those sort of kits seem to have. So that's the decals, as you can see, very nicely packaged in a very nice clear top sealing bag. Clear parts as well. We've got an actual canopy and a windshield, and then we've got the sprues here and the instruction sheet. And we've got a little advert there for Clearprop Models. I bought these, had these on back order, bought them from Hannants. I've spoken briefly to Clear Models just because I was on their website putting an order together because they've got some extras and stuff that's just on their website, so I was looking at them. But I did purchase these from Hannants. So the difference between the two models is sprue H. It's to do with this upper parts of the wing here. So the early version has sprue H, the late version has sprue D. So we've got both sets there. So the instructions are very much the same. So what I will do is get out from the early version the marking scheme, and then we're basically looking at both kits. So we'll come back to the early version first, and that is sprue H, and we will start with what we've got here in one big group. This here is the late model. So starting with the instructions, we can see we've got the sprue map there where we've got A, B, is this an E, C, X, F and D. That's our sprue map. We've got two decal sheets here. Now this is for the main marking scheme, that's the box art, and then this is for the Republican schemes. Now the thing with the Republican schemes, if you don't know, Spanish Civil War, two sides. Republican, which was largely backed by Soviet Russia, and you've got the nationalist side that was largely backed by the Germans and the Italians. So this is a Russian plane, Soviet Russian plane, that was given to the Republican side and inevitably captured and then used by the nationalists. That is how they got into that service. So building up here, we've got the cockpit, and that instantly looks, now I'm not an expert on the I16, but I know a little bit about from the Type 10. I've never really there hasn't been a good kit of the Type 5, so I've never built one. That's what is unique to this, and that's why this is quite an important release. It looks to me as though they got the cockpit floor correct for starters. The Edward kit has one big block that goes up to the sides of the fuselage, but that's not how it actually looked. It had gaps down the edges of the inside walls of the fuselage. We've got the marking scheme there again on a separate sheet. So here you can see we're building up. We've got a slight butt join actually. It's a bit of a tab and slot join here, and it looks like the upper wing is what gives us the rigidity. So this is slotting into this main middle section here, and then the upper wing goes both onto the middle of that and onto this lower part of the wing, which is B2, and it should bring all that together. So let's hope that's a nice positive fit. We've got the two fuselage halves going together along with a centre lower section of the fuselage, it looks like, or it's an upper section, sorry. So this is what we build up with the wing. Two fuselage halves kind of go over that, and then this section joins the fuselage halves together, and then we've got the rear of the seat going in, and you can see that there's actually a nice gap around between the floor of the cockpit and the fuselage halves, and that seems to be correct with the limited knowledge that I know. Now we've got exhaust stubs going into the side of the cowling going on here, which joins up again in this kind of unusual way, and then the engine joins on to that as well, and we've got separate parts running all around there. Okay, yep. Then we're making up the rest of it. There's no photo etch in this, and this does have on the front of the box, it says starter. Now I guess they do an expert version where it might have photo etch and things like that, maybe canopy masks, but I've not seen that yet. So we've got the horizontal stabilizers going on, and then I guess they're ailerons all going on there together. We've got wheels that are two halves, landing gear going on in the usual way, very much how I'd expect it to be built up. And then we've got the finishing, which is again pretty much unique to the Type 5, or one of the unique parts of the Type 5 compared to later polycarbos, which only have the windshield, is this has got an enclosed canopy and the telescopic sight going on. A few small machine guns, and that's about it. So we will look at the two marking schemes. First off, from the box that we're doing. So this is the one I want to do. This is the nationalist one I'll do. I'll do a little bit more research and just check it fits my group. But it looks like it does because it's 1939, and that is just paint it white and blue and then make the rest up with decals, and that's what I kind of like the challenge of. So you've got the lightning stripe, you've got all of these bits going around there, all of them are featured on the decal sheet. So you've got around there, around here, down the back spine, you've got all of that around the fin, you've got all of that, and also, so all you need to do is just paint the actual cowling, the end of the cowling black. I think that would be a nice challenge, so that's something I want to do. We've got instrument panel decals, and then we've got all of the Republican ones, and again very much the same. It's all the same scheme. This is how they were shipped over from Russia, and that's how they were used during the war, with red bands over the green and blue colour scheme all the way through. Sometimes they have the odd little marking, like got Popeye, or you've got a few other little notable, famous cartoons from the from this period, which is 1930s, mid 1930s. Then we've got a nice nationalist scheme here where it's got just a light sand colour. It's just been airbrushed over it. And then we've got the straight schemes across as well. And this is the one I'll be doing in Republican service. Now, as I said, the main difference is the early version is this one, sprue H, and the late version is sprue D. So we'll get in and have a look at what makes those different. So in some of the Facebook adverts that Clearprop have been doing on this kit as well, they have made quite a point of showing that this is not being kitted before. So let's just get our terminology correct. The late version is sprue D. That is up here. So the early version is down here, and it has quite different ribbing on the upper section of the wing. It looks like it's the outer section, because from here those parts look the same, and this is the metal section of the wing as far as I understand. Oh no, it might be plywood. There isn't a lot of metal on this aircraft, but I don't know how much. But this is certainly riveted here, so this is metal plating going on around here. Now, that's the differences. So if you're going to do an early, it's got this kind of wider ribbing, and if you're going to do a late, it's got much closer together ribbing, and I think that's much more of a feature of models as it goes on into the Type 10 and thereon. But like I said, I'm not an expert on the polycarbos. It's been a while since I've looked at any sort of anything of the plane in detail, but that is the difference here. So that's the difference between the two kits as well as the marking options. So I will take sprue H and put it back in He's checking again. Sprue H and put it back in the early kit. So as we look at the rest of the sprues, that's what we've got all in a bundle. So we've got the lower sections of the wing there. So these are the, like I was saying, these have a kind of butt join, like tab and slot join onto this section. So they go on like that. And then this joins those two together. So that should give you the positive join. You can see what the overlap is there. So I'm not too worried. I'd be a bit worried if that was just the way that was joined on and you had this bit at the top going to it, but I think that's going to go together absolutely fine with that nice bit of overlap. So that's good. Very crisply moulded, I must say. There's no flash, no problem. Very fine rivet detail all along here. Wonder if we can show it. Does always amaze me how these I don't know if they are short run companies, but with the sort of short run technology that they're using, the amount of detail they can get is far better than something like Airfix would put out. You know, this is on par with Edouard, and it is remarkable. You can see how nicely that is done all across there. I mean, the Wingsy kit springs to mind, of the 109 is, again, you know, we're at that level. It's really, really nice. Really crisp. The thinness of the plastic, you can see there. Very sharp edges. Nice small locating pins. Really good stuff. Let's have a look at the sort of ribbing texture there on the rudder. Very nice again. And I think these are metal panels on the top here, so it's a bit more riveting down the edge there. That's something I do notice, is you need to just be a little bit careful when you're gluing this together and make sure you get the finesse and the fineness of the moulding doesn't get lost by having to sand seams. I've seen a couple of these built up and they look absolutely fine. So if you take your time and test fit, you should be getting very, very nice joins. We've got Dunlop, I think that says, on the edge of the tyre. Two-piece tyre, no tread. So that can just be sanded smooth. And we've got nice detail here on the belly plate there, I'm going to call that. It's a few things going on. Bottom of the cowling, under the side of the fuselage, where the landing gear goes, and also parts of the section for the wing. But we've got some riveted panels in there, or fasteners with rivets. All very good. So that's a nice sprue, and then just to show you how small this plane is, that's the fuselage. It's a very, very small plane. And this is 1/48 scale. You've got interior detail there as well. You've got two different types of cowling. Like I said, I can't tell the difference, well, other than this indent, but I don't know which one's right. I'd need to look at photos and go back through some of my books. It's been a while since I've looked at the Polycarpov, but certainly the Type 5 has been one I've been after for years and years and years and years. I've built the Type 10 and I wanted to build a Type 5, and now I've got two of them, so can't complain. Two different types of propeller. That looks like the elevators, the rear of the seat or cockpit. This is the cockpit floor. That's the engine detail, which has got quite nice cylinder head detail there. Again, you're not going to see very much when it's behind that and it's totally enclosed. You know, you only need a little bit. There's a cover as well, this one. Often this is used as photo etch because they could blank off or open up, so you're actually seeing it through that. And I think that is, the engine's absolutely fine. This is the wheel wells and the bucket seat. I mean, the only thing we haven't got is belts, so but that's fine. I've got plenty in the spares. This is only like a lap belt. This had, I think it might have had one, a bit like the Japanese aircraft. I think it had one belt that went along there, or it might have just been lap belts. Not sure. Again, I've got the information to find out. Different wheels. I got a feeling that all of the stuff catered for this model is on a new sprue. So that's quite nice. And then finally, we've just got the instrument panel there. You've got the nice sweeping shape of the gear doors, which also have nice riveting detail all across them. Very, very fine landing gear there. And everything looks absolutely fantastic. Fantastic. So very nice there from Clearprop Models. I've not built one of theirs before, but I'm looking forward to getting into this one at some point. Maybe not straight away, but I will get on with this build. This will be the next plane I build, put it like that. So when I get onto a plane, it will be this. And I probably, as I'm about it, will do a double build as I'm doing it, and just get on with it. That's probably the best way to tackle this. So yeah, very impressed. That looks really nice. I haven't looked at the clear sprue, I've just noticed. It's in the bag. Let's just have a look. Very nice sturdy bag. It's not just a flimsy one. It will have a little bit of protection to it. So we've got that canopy, which is what was used on the Type 5. I'm not sure what we need to do for the telescopic sight. I thought it stuck out. It does. So how do we do that? I was worried that might be the case. We drill a hole. So just take a deep breath. And I guess drill the hole. So that's maybe one limitation in the kit. It'd be nice to have the hole already there so it just slides through. So not for the faint-hearted. But we've also got a few, there's a clear, I think there's a sight section. There's an area in the bottom of the cockpit or through the gear doors. Yeah, through the wheel wells there's these clear windows where they could sight. I don't know what it was for actually. Might have been for making sure the landing gear had come down. These here, often depicted as moulded in, just like a recess, they are actually windows. So that you could look down through the cockpit. And they are in the kit. Like, so you've got the windshield there, you've got a gun sight, which wouldn't be in this model, I don't expect. So yeah, all very nice. I have used Decograph decals before. They're some of the best I've ever used, so I'm looking forward to getting on and using these as well. I don't think there's any need to get in there. The register is fine, you can see that. Printing is fine, and their application is really, really nice. So that is the Clearprop Models I16 Type 5 in the Sky of Spain release in 1/48 scale. It's their starter version and it is made in Ukraine. So it's a lovely little model, really nice features, really well executed, and I look forward to giving this one a go as soon as I can. So as always, thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments down below and I'll see you in the next video.